Now, government says it's taking necessary steps to review all existing flagship programs as part of its objectives to strengthen fiscal policy. This was contained in the IMF's May 2023 country report on Ghana. One of the flagship programs, Free SHS, has already been described by the fund as poorly targeted, with the country's education system producing poor learning outcomes. My colleague Isaac Ofieje has been studying that report. He joins me in the studio for a chat. What informed government's decision to review all its flagship programs?
Right, so you know the IMF Bailout package, there are certain conditions that government must meet to get all the disbursements.
Yep.
In terms of structural and then also fiscal policies, there must be some sort of adjustment.
Yeah.
And with respect to this flagship programs that we're talking about, government has been given some updates in the report, the May 2023 report on Ghana. So according to government, and I'm stating this, I'm quoting what government said, they said they are taking steps to review all, flagship programs.
Okay.
And the last time we checked...
That's an instruction from the IMF?
Well, it is government's own policy to achieve fiscal discipline or the fiscal...
To meet IMF requirements.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So we checked from the 2023 budget to see the number of flagship programs that government currently has. It's been varying if you compare year on year. So when we checked, we found 16 of them, including the Free SHS, One District, One Factory, the 1D, 1F, and then also the current one, which is the hospitals across all districts. So the government is saying it is taking steps to review, and if we say all programs, then it means we are including a Free SHS as well, because they did not exclude any program. It stated categorically that all programs. And so we also did some small checks, and we saw that if you look at these 16 flagship programs that we're talking about, government has actually projected that this year it is going to spend some 9.6 or a little over 9 billion Ghana cedis on it, which is more than $900 million. So you ask yourself, is it resource constrained, or is it that some of these programs we do not need them again, or what is it going to be in terms of reviews? And government is also saying that they've been studying so many things, and they will look at the future of all these 16 programs that we're talking about. So between 2020 and 2023, we've spent a lot on this flagship program, especially the
Do we know how much we've spent on each of them? Do we have how many? 16, you said?
16. That's as of 2023.
Okay.
So 2023, just like I said, we are hoping to spend some 9.6 or a little over 9 billion on it. I think last year, 2022, the figure was around the same amount. So it's been varying, but on the average, it's around $8 billion a year. So we need to pump $8 billion every year to make sure that we have all of these, flagship programs running.
Do we know how much we need to reduce spending on these flagship programs to be able to meet the IMF requirements?
Well, so we do not have the specific figure, but what we know is that in 2023, there's a huge budget deficit for government to fund. So Aisha, we've been talking about this all on PM Express. So if you look at government, the projected expenditure is over 200 billion Ghana cedis.
Yep.
Revenue is just around 160 million or 90 or 80 million dollars. Sorry, Ghana cedis. Okay. If you strike the difference, we have a whopping 60 billion worth of deficit to fund. And that is what we are trying to reduce. So if you are trying to reduce your deficit, two things. It's either you increase revenue or you cut down on expenditure. Yeah. But we know government has been tackling this from both sides. On the revenue side, they've introduced, I think, 4 or 3 new taxes, trying to bring in some 4 billion Ghana cedis. The expenditure side, so they are cutting down on so many things. It's in the IMF program, including the review of the 16 flagship programs.
Okay, so it's something that we have to dig deeper and see how government is going to handle this. Ofieje is with our research desk, and